Start streaming. For some reason the button is blank. Does it actually work? Does it actually work? No. Well, let's try something new. This is a surprise stream. A little over half an hour ago, I received a call from a tech support scammer. This is a surprise stream. I didn't really expect to receive those calls in Finland here, because we don't usually get those, but I was on the toilet at the time, and I told her to call me in 30 minutes again. So right now I'm actually waiting for a call from a tech support scammer. I don't really have a plan. I'm just planning to waste their time for a little, but I thought I could also install a virtual machine here while I am waiting. So this is a virtual machine, which I have previously used in my video for the dual booting Linux Windows machine. It's the same virtual machine. It's running QEMU. Probably won't use it in this call because the installation seems to be taking forever, and I should probably set it up better, but that's just something to fill up some time while I am waiting for the call. So let me see if anyone is online. I should probably get my setup a little better. Always on top. And Twitch online. Mute that. And check out the chat. Hold on. Can I mute it? Yes, I can. Can I pop out the chat? Hold on. How do I actually operate this? It has been a long time. Can I actually see that? Yes, I can. I really should have checked these things in advance, but it doesn't really matter because no one is actually watching me right now. Pop out. Is there any option to pop out? Pop out. Mod view. Well, maybe that would work. Skip all. Place that over there. And still wait. Yeah, maybe I can do this. Alright, hello Pablo. So I am still waiting for the call from the tech support scammer who promised to call me in 30 minutes, and it has been a little over 30 minutes. And I have no idea how the audio setup is going to work. I have a table microphone and I have the phone on my table, which I'm going to put in speaker mode, so the audio quality is probably going to be crap, but let's see how it works. So this is still installing Linux. Oh, you can't actually see now you can see the mouse cursor. Yeah, it's still installing Linux. I'm probably not going to use it in this call, but it's going there in any case. I don't know how long I have to wait because She promised to call me in 30 minutes, and 30 minutes was about 10 minutes ago. So who knows? But in the meantime, nothing to do but to wait. I could probably call them back, but it's probably not going to connect to the same person. So I'm not going to try that. And the numbers they are calling from are all fake, so it doesn't really matter. It showed me the caller is calling me from Åland Islands, which is a small island between Finland and Sweden, which belongs to Finland, which is definitely not where the scammer lives, so I don't know. She's probably India. Although she spoke pretty good English, but not native quality English, but still. Who knows? I should probably put the phone in audio mode so it's not quiet. So I would miss it. Disabling NetInst CD in source list. Installation is complete, so it is time to boot into your new system. Make sure to remove the installation media so that you boot into the new system rather than restarting the installation. Okay. Boot manager. Boot from this. That didn't work. Group command line. Let's try something different. Quit the virtual machine. Then do some configuration. Remove the USB stick from there. And make sure it doesn't try to rewrite those, so let's run it again. Here we go. Okay, this is not what I was expecting. Also, my picture is kinda on the way. UEFI interactive shell. Well, that didn't go as planned. Let's try a different thing. So if I resize this, filters, transformation, reset. No, not that one. Let me make that smaller and resize this, transformation, reset here, and make it a little bit smaller, because I have a 4K display and the stream is definitely not 4K. So let's try that again. So if I change, so it uses stick is okay, but for the hard drive I need to use, instead of this SSD image, let's try the NVMe image, which I also used in that video. This might be a YouTube video later if all goes well. If she doesn't call me back, then probably not going to be a video. Let's see how it works. Stick image. Time for a new installation. Advanced options. I should probably also transform this again. Edit. Make it like a lot bigger. Something like that. And yeah, that works. Automated install. No. Automated install. There we go. let me see how automated this actually is. Hello, Skitsy. Still waiting for the call. She's late. Like I said earlier, I could I could call them back, but probably it's not going to connect to the same person. And I might want to talk to the same person again. So let's see. British, Finnish keyboard. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Full name user 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Hello, BioQuake. Use entire disk. Entire disk. Yes, NVMe. Finish partitioning. Write changes. Creating ext4 file system. If this looks familiar to you, it's because it is familiar. It is the exact same virtual machine in which I made the Windows Linux dual booting thing. I should probably make it look a little bigger. Edit transform. Something like that, maybe. Try that. Yeah, that could work. Retrieving files. Well, she is not precise. I don't know if she gave up. Figure out I'm stalling because I was on the toilet at the time. I didn't want to talk 2 hours on the toilet, so I told her to call me back again. But I don't know if she will. So right now I'm just wasting my own time, but that doesn't really matter because I'm on the vacation, so it doesn't really matter what I do with my time. Table microphone. Just time to check. Yes, audio seems to be working fine. Configuring Linux image. While I am waiting for that, I could maybe also... Oh, there was also this clock. I don't need that at this time. So I could probably show also this script. This is the script that does the virtual machine. It runs QEMU. The memory option is 8 gigabytes I mean. When I made the dual booting video I actually used 64 gigabytes of memory. At that time I had 28 gigabytes of RAM in my system, so that didn't really matter. I used half of that for the virtual machine. Then the CPU, this is the Hugon Diana system with 21 cores and 7 threads per... No, I mean 3 threads per core, and yeah, 21 threads. So that's how it works. All of these systems here are to replicate some of the actual hardware characteristics in my system, which is the real system which I run my mail system right now. My email is running on the machine that I installed in that video, although I didn't actually install it in that video because I used this virtual machine for it, but I installed the actual system exactly the same way, except without the dual booting part. Serial device, so I can actually use a serial screen here. Hold on, it was... I don't actually remember the keys for that, but I can actually use that. Then there's the custom built core boot ROM for the BIOS, which shows my logo there. And then there's some scripts to create the virtual storage devices, the NVMe, the SSD, some of the sticks. They are actually mirrored to hold on, where does it actually show it? Windows 10. I don't actually know where it was, but in any case, it uses those stick images there. Then there was a part which does the clock, video configuration, and then there's the actual command for the QEMU. It had the number of different parameters here because I kept switching the storage devices in my video, so I changed the parameters, run the QEMU virtual machine again, and stitched those parts together in my video. So that's how it was made. And I modified my QEMU installation, where it actually it's right here. I edited quite many files here to match the IDs for the devices so that it looks authentic. So that's all it was. It was smoke and mirrors, basically. So still waiting for the call. Self-hosted email. Yes, it is self-hosted email. Am I going to continue the video game password cracking series? Yes, I cannot promise when, but I would think I would continue it at some time when I have the proper motivation for it. If I bring up a spreadsheet about, can I make this visible on the stream? Let's see. Let me make it a little bit smaller. There we go. I have a spreadsheet here which lists all kind of ideas you people have had for the next parts of the video. There's plenty of comments. Metal Gear has been suggested many times, so this is my list which I keep track of which things I should probably do next. There's some kind of priority number here, so Captain Tsubasa could be done later. Maniac Mansion has been idea. Battle of Olympus is quite likely to be some of the next parts. I don't make promises which one is going to be the next one. The longer and more complex password systems obviously take longer to make, so it kind of depends on how much energy, how much time and so on I have for use at the time. Tecmo Cup Sucker, yeah. So some of these will be coming later, but I make absolutely no promises on when. I cannot make any promises because promises are made to be broken. Well, they are not made to be broken, but I cannot guarantee that I keep a promise. So I try not to make promises. So boot manager. Yeah, this is the Hygondrian. Boot manager, Kingston, data traveler, not that one. Oh yeah, this BIOS didn't actually support the NVMe. So I have to use a different BIOS for this. So interrupt that. Edit these to use a different BIOS. Maybe this one. Let's try that. From this window. Nope. I wonder if she gave up on calling me, because she's definitely not calling me. It has been 1 hour since she promised to call me in 30 minutes, so I don't know. Drive, duplicate SD1 drive. SD1. Oh yeah, I made that wrong way, so I should actually do that way. So let's run it from this window this time. So, mapping table. It gives me that prompt, so that's not going to work. Try a different BIOS, because I really can't remember how this works. No, that's not working. Which ones of these actually recognize the let's try that one. View. Can I actually view the VT base? Show tabs. No. I may have to use a different VGA for that. Let's try box. Still a blank screen, so maybe that BIOS is not going to work. Well, this is an unexpected hurdle. Core boot. Try that. Has not initialized the display, box display, VT base, oops, exception. No. I should actually close that and... Yeah, the comment is wrong. It's not really a case of works fine. Well, there is actually probably another option. No. Because I distinctly remember that I got it working, so I don't know. Open BIOS. Try that. Guest has not initialized the display yet. Box display, VT base, combat monitor, VGA. No. Well, this is certainly unexpected. Try that OVF again. Oh yeah, that's the problem. So it doesn't show, it actually does show block 2. So it's not the case that it doesn't, hello chicken fried noodles, it's not the case that it doesn't recognize the NVMe. That is not the problem. If I compare with this one, which actually requires the different graphics device, it doesn't use VGA, VMware. Try that. What's going on? How does it go from working to not working? Oh yeah, because it was supposed to be this one. My bad. Alright, so enter setup. No, enter setup, reset. Enter setup. Boot manager. No, this one doesn't recognize the NVMe. I am fine. I am fine waiting for a call from a scammer who does seem to be breaking her promise. The other, well, I wouldn't compare myself to others, but the people who actually make the tech support scammer videos on YouTube and in Twitch usually call them instead of waiting for calls sometimes. But I am not going to call her back because the number is probably faked. So I am waiting for a call. The tech support scammer called me 1 hour ago. I was on the toilet at the time, so I wasn't too keen on wasting her time while sitting on the toilet. So I told her to call me back in 30 minutes, using the excuse that I am not at home. And she promised to call me back in 30 minutes, and that was 70 minutes ago. So let's not use the NVMe. Let's use the SSD, and let's use a different installation. So instead of Ubuntu, no, actually CD3 is what I used right now. So let's use CD. Yes. And wipe out the installation device. Run a simulated NVMe system. Creating that. Alright, so install OEM install for manufacturers. Yes. In my video about the dual booting Windows Linux system, I told you to not use the OEM installation option, but right now I am going to use it because this is still a virtual machine and I kind of want this to go quickly. You may wish to read the release notes. So, yes, English. English keyboard layout is going to be Finnish. Yes. Normal installation. Yes. Download updates while installing. Yes. And also do that. Yes, I do read the chat. And I do watch Kitboga. Thank you for the bits. Erase disk and install Ubuntu. Yes, this will delete all your programs, but because this is a virtual system, it doesn't really matter. Yes, everything is going to be done, and I am in Helsinki. Yes. Computer's name is going to be Guru, and my username is going to be OEM. Oh, that's not very nice. Fair password 123456. Fire password. Okay. Almost finished copying files. So it has been 75 minutes about. Hello KDEX. When she promised to call me in 30 minutes. Well, maybe she's not going to call me again. That's okay also. I can just chat, but... And also my stream is actually saying just chatting, so that's totally fine. Although I was kind of hoping to make the content that I was promising to make. Let's deal with the tech support scammer. Well, I am dealing with it. Creating a virtual machine. That's my way of dealing it. But yeah, I should also make sure that is actually visible in the window in the stream. So Tails OS. I have never heard of it. Oh yes, 16020p. I was not supposed to use this quality for the Twitch streaming. But it is actually not dropping frames, so that is actually fair. And I don't think this uses too much bandwidth, so that's totally fine. This is actually the largest resolution that I can capture in 60 frames per second. So that's why I'm using this resolution. But I was planning to use this resolution for my captures on the discs, not capture on the disc, not for the stream. So that's kind of a mistake on my part. So let's try booting this new system now. Yes, please remove the installation medium and then press enter. Yes. I'm not actually going to remove it, I'm just going to force it to boot from this fine SSD. Is it working? Ubuntu. It might be working. This doesn't look like the installer, so it may be working. I am hopeful. Looks fine to me. Now to learn to use this, where do I get the terminal? Files. If I go to this and type, yes, I can actually run xterm. Known terminal, yes, that actually works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Essentials, Joe, xterm and strace, those are the essentials I need for every installation. What is the resolution of this virtual machine? It's 2080 by 720, I think. I have not played Noita, I have not played Baba Is You. I have not played those games. I know Noita is a Finnish game. I have never heard of Baba Is You. But I have... It's an old one. Oh, I see. Well, that is surprising. Disco. And I don't have a Joe, do I? No, I don't. Instead of Disco, let's use... what are the Debian Ubuntu system names nowadays? Ubuntu. Let me use some little bit of Google for Ubuntu releases. I'm sorry this is not display upon the screen, but Groovy Gorilla is the newest one. Focal. Focal is what I want here. Focal. 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 Still waiting for the call. Focal. I don't know how to do search and replace. Well, actually I do, but I have no idea how to type that character in Nano, so that's why I'm doing this clumsily and manually. Because on the Finnish keyboard, backslash is actually right side Alt plus the plus key, the key that is next to 0. So how to type that and still use Control? I don't think it would work, but let's do update. I do stream video games, and usually on Twitch I actually do stream only video games, but this is kind of an exception. I'm still waiting for the tech support scammer to call me back, so who knows if that will ever happen. But in the meantime I can do this mundane thing, dist upgrade, yes. That will take some time. And no, I do not have a gigabyte internet connection, so this is actually my real network speed. In the video when I downloaded a 2 gigabyte video in like 20 seconds, that was actually my local area network, so it was also fake. The video was not sped up. Well, actually parts of it were sped up, but the clock was real. The clock is actually displayed right here, so it is actually real. But when it showed me downloading stuff from a university in Stockholm, it was actually downloading from my computer next room. But regarding streaming, I really don't stream often. This is my first stream in a long time. I last streamed like last year, I think. Maybe in October, maybe in July, I don't actually remember, but I was streaming 2 Point Hospital speed runs. And before that I streamed some City Skylines. That is actually a Finnish game, which I have played. I was going to mention that before. I have played City Skylines quite a bit. And before that I played Life is Strange series, which I played blind, which is also found on my Bisqwit Plays YouTube channel. I usually try to put those also in the Bisqwit Plays channel. Yeah, City Skylines is a Finnish game. It's published by Paradox, which is not Finnish, but the developers is Colossal Order, which is a Finnish company, and the CEO is female actually. It's a woman, so that's also interesting. Different, let's say, and I am happy about that. This is also not, yes, it is actually positioned correctly. And before Life is Strange, did I stream something else? Yes, I did Talos Principle, which is made by Crow Team, which is a Croatian company, I think. And before that I made some Portal videos, not blind playthroughs, just playing some puzzles, making puzzles and making walkthrough videos of those puzzles that I made. But really I don't play games that much. Baba Is You is made by a Finnish developer. Yes, they previous people said here that. Void Voyage said that much. But I have never heard about that game. I have heard of Noita, but never played it, never actually seen it. Talos Principle, yes, it is an amazing video game. Will you ever make any videos on religion? I am planning to, honestly, I'm planning to. I'm just not very good at getting those plans into fruition. It's a bad problem for me. Yeah, I kind of think the scammer gave up on me. I'm actually fine on that. They actually called me 3 times today. They called me on the morning from a London number. Then they called me from a Finnish number an hour later. And 3 hours later they called me from an Åland Islands number. Which I answered while I was on the toilet. And I told them to call me back in 30 minutes, so that's what I'm waiting for. Do I have a cold? No, I do not have a cold, but I have a running nose all around the year. Something allergy, something probably. I don't know which. But it's an all year around condition. If you watch some of my password cracking videos and some other videos, you can probably hear that my nose is kinda stuffed. It is especially obvious in the Simon's Quest video. I try to not make videos while the nose is in a very bad condition, because it affects my voice, but sometimes you can hear it. Right now it's a little bit better. It's running rather than blocky. How do you stay up to date with C++? I follow news. There are some resources that I use. Let me see if I can bring this on the screen. It should be like something like that. Resize it like that. Yes. And move myself a little bit differently. Where is my mouse cursor going? Cursor is going there. That's not what I was planning to do. I was planning to move this one. Okay, so well, Wikipedia is probably not the best place, but Reddit is one place. Reddit is where I hear some of the news. Then another place is GCC-GNU, or no, GCC-GNU. Typing difficult. Changes I follow this and read what is new there and what GCC does support. For example, here I see that it is actually implementing GCC version 10 is implementing several new C++20 features. Then another is CPP reference, which I have mentioned in many of my videos that I actually follow this site. So if I want to learn something new about C++20, this is my go-to site. Usually, yeah, pretty much everything on this site is what I go to when I want to learn something new about C++20. I browse it randomly. What else? Well, social networks. I hear things in Twitter. If I go to Twitter, I may hear things about new things, C++. Sometimes that's also my option for that. What else? Well, that's probably everything. I don't actually keep track on what are my sources, but those are the things that I can think on the top of my mouth, heart, mind. Yeah. Focal updates. Looks like I'm just wasting my time here with this virtual machine, but unless it is something interesting to keep on the screen while I am waiting for the call. Which seems like it is never going to happen. Keyboard configuration, country of origin for the keyboard. Finnish, sure. Checking in it. Restart servicing during package updates without asking, yeah, sure. In my own installations, I always prefer to be asked everything. I prefer to set up everything manually, so that I know everything where it is, and I also learn new things, but in this virtual machine things are not that important. So I can have them automatic. Also, my voice seems to be going a little bit. I'm not used to be talking this much. Before this time runs out, could I discuss music? Well, sure. Is this on your computer with a Threadripper? Yes. What you see on the background here is my actual computer with a Threadripper, which is actually using this kind of CPU at this time. What I have in my email server is a different kind of Threadripper. It is this one. This is what you saw in the video with a dual booting system and in the two other videos before. The Hugo and Diana system that you saw in the dual booting system, it is all entirely virtual. It is made by this line in the QEMU startup shell script, which looks like this. So it was entirely virtual, it was cheating, it was fake, as many people guessed. I don't really have a Chinese rare CPU. I just configured the virtual machine to look like a real system with some curious details. But I made sure that everything else matches as close as possible to the real system. So I tried to make it look authentic with special bits that are a little bit off. Hold on. What was my screen configuration? Screen configuration was this thing on the background. Yes. Favorite food? I don't really have a favorite food. I really don't have a favorite food. I eat pretty much everything. Except nowadays I don't eat pork, I don't eat shrimp. I try to keep a biblical diet, but other than that I eat pretty much everything. At my home I tend to cook simple. I usually make something of minced beef meat, some frozen vegetables, either potato or rice. Kind of simple meals, but with lots of spices. But that's just because it is simple to make and quite satisfying, so that's what I do. I have a Finnish friend who we together like electronic music, especially we like ambient and techno. Do you have a preference? Rutsen. Do you have a preference? No, not really. I have some unpreferences. I don't like metal music, for example, and also some really bass-based techno musics I don't like. I don't also like trance music. So those are basically my preferences. But I don't really listen to music that much. Nowadays pretty much the only music that I do listen is related to my dances. Also I should probably fix that glitchy window thing. These thermal settings, power mixer, set it to maximum preference and set this to maximum preference. So that should fix the glitches. The screen is blank. It is rebooting, I think. Oh no, something has gone wrong. So much about Linux being easy to use and clear diagnostics. Is there anything I can do on this screen? No. Well, that isn't too nice. Run simulated NVMe system. Let's run that again. And no, reset, reboot. BIOS please, yes. Boot manager. Kingston. Well, that is not very nice. I am back in square one. Let's try a different BIOS. Again. And without the USB stick. Without stick, please. No. Every time you touch GPU driver, something breaks in Linux. Yeah, that could be a possibility. But actually, in my actual Linux system, it's pretty much stable. It uses the NVIDIA GPU, and it's totally fine. That my virtual machine broke at the same time I touched the NVIDIA settings in my host system was kind of a coincidence. But this is really unexpected. How about this? Guest has not initialized display yet. But it is also not crashed. Try with a different VGA, with a real VGA. Running is no, yes, no, no, not running. Okay, option 3. back to this BIOS. I have been wanting to pass through an NVIDIA GPU to a Windows KVM/QEMU. However, when you do this, NVIDIA has made their drivers intentionally crash when attempting to do this. Needless to say, I'm saving up for an AMD card now. That's interesting. I have never actually, probably never heard of NVIDIA things crashing like that. Okay, so let's download a different Ubuntu disk. Let's do that. Download this. Download downloads, overview, server, desktop, download here. 20 years ago I actually used to use Lynx as my primary browser, so I should be pretty familiar with it, but it's not like I have used it for a long time. Okay, so this is my actual downloading speed. Let's wait for that. 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago was 2000. And I used text-based Linux system for many years. It took me many years before I actually ventured and tried a graphical Linux. Have a nice day, Void Voyage. Yeah, the scam call not happening looks like a reality now. I guess they bailed out. 30 minutes. It's looking like 90 minutes right now. Also, it's hot in here. I have an air conditioner, but if I turn it on, it's going to make a lot of noise and you can't hear anything that I say, so... Or at least there would be plenty of noise on the background, so I'm not going to put it on. It's like 27 degrees here, Celsius. Hello Rap12. I think you have been on my streams before. I'm pretty bad at remembering names, but I try my best. Your first OS was a command line Linux. No, it was not. My first OS was MS-DOS. Version probably 5.0. Or maybe 4 point something. That was my first OS. And after that my second OS was Windows 95. And after that my next OS was Linux. After that my next OS was Windows 98. I have never used Amiga OS, but however I have used Amiga Research OS in one of my videos, Aros. I have used it for a little while. Let me see if I can actually find Windows 3.1. We used that one in the school. But I didn't use it personally. Let me see. Aros. Bisqwit Aros. Let's search for that. Bisqwit Aros. YouTube. Yeah, that one. This is Aros. On the background. Oh, it's full screened like that. Cinema mode. Yeah, that's Aros. But I only used it for that video. I have not actually used it like real use. It was only for that video. But I have never used an actual Amiga. And that was not the real ProTracker, it was the ProTracker clone made by 8-bit Bubsy. Plug and play. Yeah. Oh yeah, this window is actually not positioned properly. I usually have a better system for these windows in my streams, but I kinda made this really in haste because I was waiting for the call from the scammer. So I wanted to start the stream before the call, but things don't always go as you wish. Dropped frames 64. Well, that's pretty good. Still waiting for the download. It's going pretty quick. 8 megabytes in a second is okay-ish. Deuteros for Amiga. Space Simulator. Who is the scammer and why are they calling you now? Well, I don't know who they are. She didn't actually introduce herself. She just jumped straight to the topic that my computer is full of viruses and hackers. It is full of hackers, and I need to take action right now. So of course she wanted to connect to my computer using a remote desktop system, but I was on the toilet at the time, so I wasn't too keen on having a lengthy phone call at the time, so I told her to call me back in 30 minutes, using the excuse that I'm not at home right now, but I will soon be. And she promised to call me back, but she didn't. That is just how things go. She's probably in India, in a tech support scam center, like they all, pretty much all are. She was calling me from a number in Åland Islands. What? What? Device to open. Device to open. I don't want to open this. I don't want to open it. I want to save it. I kind of forgot to press some key. Ubuntu. It should be something like this. So let's copy it. So you'll do this through a sandbox and do what to her? Kolkata or some other place. I don't actually have a really plan. I was just setting this virtual machine so that I have it. It's better to have it than not to have it, but it's actually probably not going to work. We are already running into so many problems here. My going plan was actually to waste her time with things like I can't find the Windows key on my keyboard because it's labeled differently, and just playing stupid. And because I don't have a VPN right at the moment, I am not too keen on actually having her connect to my computer. But they could do all kind of nasty things like denial of service attacks and things like that, but I'm working on it. If I received one call from them, that is probably not going to be the last call, so they are definitely going to call me again. Can you find out where she is from? Probably. If she if she actually connected to my computer, I could see where the IP address is based. So let's try that OEM install again. Position this properly. OEM install. So I could probably trace that IP address and see where it is from, but that's pretty much everything I can do. And of course she could also give me some other information. They are usually not bling bling bling. that was probably the Linux installation doing its thing. She could probably give me some other information, but they usually try not to do that unless they are really convinced that they have you hooked. My thread repair system is treating me pretty good. It's working without problems. It's also not overheating. Whether it's worth the bucks depends really what you want to do. For example, in the ice cream truck, no, it was actually, I have a headphones here. Yeah, you can see them, which were probably playing the audio. Erase disk and install Ubuntu. Yes, advanced features. Sure, ZFS. I don't know why I would want to use that. LVM, yes, sure. Yeah, it really depends on what you are going to do with the system. For my polygon texture mapping video, I kind of needed that. It made the thing run smoothly. I am in Helsinki again, yes. Clear Linux distro. My system is again called Guru. And my password is again 123456, 123456, which is fair, or according to that. And it is installing. What was I going to say? Oh yes. I don't know if this is going to work out nicely in the stream. Let me try this. I actually made this run a lot faster than it used to run before. This is actually a graphical glitch here. It's not dropping frames. Wonderful. So this is actually running pretty smoothly right now. It's not actually showing me the frame rate, but it is actually doing the light map calculation in real time, and the frame rate is, for the most part, pretty acceptable. It's like, well, maybe 20, but it's running pretty good. So I made some speed optimizations there. It is all on CPU. Speed optimizations, which I might cover in a future video, but I just thought I should mention that. But that was using all the 48 threads on my CPU, so it also, you could probably hear it on the background that all the fans went crazy. So it actually makes the CPU do its job. If I just use like 8 threads, it would be much slower. Would you ever do a video on the System Shock's software renderer from '94? If I had something to say about that, it's actually pretty impressive, if I say so. It's pretty impressive. I really liked how it looked. It was really cool looking. And it used some kind of dithering, but I don't know which. But it's really impressive. But I don't know how it works. Impressive performance and impressive appearance. I really liked it, how it looked. Yeah. But even with that, I struggle to get all the threads working when rendering a video. Yeah, when rendering a video, do you mean encoding a video or something? Because when encoding a video, I think FFmpeg kinda limits the thread usage to like 16 threads. So it doesn't really use more than that. And when you use KDE in live, quite many things there are limited to 1 thread, so that's kinda nasty. So I can't actually benefit from my multiple cores on that. Preparing to completely remove. Why is it removing those? Installing system. Can I see details? Yes, I can. Ooh. Never mind the errors behind the scenes. OEM mode for manufacturers only. Well, I am a manufacturer of my own virtual machine. KDE is such a lovely DE. Okay, thank you for your opinion. I don't use that, but fair enough. I wonder what my stream latency is, because I'm streaming at 1.6K video, so I don't know what my stream latency is. I see on the moderation screen a copy of my stream and it is pretty lagged. Yes, I am still running Debian, but for this virtual machine I'm installing Ubuntu. So I don't know what the lag is. May I ask your age? Your skills match someone started with tech in the 80s, thus probably born in late 70s. Still you look like you are in your early 30s due to lots of hair, no grey hair and soft skin. Is my skin so soft? Well, thank you for the opinion. I am about 40 years old. About 40 years old. I was born in 78. So you are pretty accurate on that. But I started with computers in 1992. So not in 80s. Before 1992 I had never even touched a keyboard, so I was totally a newbie to computers. And then I pretty much immediately started programming. That's how I started. Because programming is so fascinating. Block IO error. That is not very good. On a virtual machine, block IO errors. How is that even possible? But that would certainly explain some of the problems in installing the system. ET base. Oh, that's the serial port, yes. Reset. Reboot. Reboot. System reset. Boot manager from that one. It's actually running. Maybe. The fans are doing kinda little... Okay. Well, do you have your QEMU start scripts online somewhere? No, I don't. But... oh. Hold on. Let me do a thing. No, let me not do that thing. Yeah, this is kind of long and really customized for the situation with the dual booting demo. Oh, you can't actually see it because... Yes, you can. The stream is just lagging. Okay, so this is kind of customized for the thing with the stream. Usually if I want to run a QEMU, I just do the commands manually. Like some device. Like that. I just do it manually. This is just because I needed it to be repeatable and I needed to do pretty many reboots and I needed to do a custom BIOS. Because why not? Because I wanted it to look nice. Install now. Sure. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure. And Alt F2. Known terminal. There. Joe exterminate trace. Again, the set of tools that I usually install, and I probably need to wait until it's done installing those things. Oh, it's done. No, it's not. Do I have watch here? Yes, I do have watch. Ooh. There we go. Let's wait for that. Ctrl-Alt-T. You are right. You are right. That is true. How about in my host system? In my host system that is not true. But in Ubuntu it seems to be true. Alright, it's progressing that installation. So if I wanted this system to look like it's an actual real system, I should probably... I'm wondering if I should customize this somehow. And what should I do to customize it? Well, I definitely should not have any private information there, that's for sure. So which projects are you involved in at the moment at work? Still on C, or are you developing any modern languages or frameworks? I use C and C++ there. Not any modern frameworks. Except in some projects we use Qt, but I have not personally written code in those projects. And also there are other things, but those are the things that I have personal touch with. Yeah. Screen lock disabled. Screen locking requires this and that. Update. Okay, so I... Why? Okay. Did I typo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's going on? Send key is what was the command? Send key without any. Okay, like that. Not working. Okay, let's try another one. F2. I have no idea what happened. Okay, I have Joe and I have Xterm now. Great. Why was I doing that? Nope. Do I have IPv6? No, I don't. Because my ISP doesn't support it right now. So how do I do this? I know. Like this. That will work. Yes. And then there we go. That looks better, although I don't really like these window borders. And the locale is bad. Configure locales. Make English US and other things US. Why? What? Oh, it's making more of those than I hoped. Sure, whatever. Okay. That's fine. Then, can I use this command? No. So, let's install Cinnamon. Hello, Stegosaurian. The stream title is Let's Deal with a Tech Support Scammer, because I actually got a call from a tech support scammer while I was on the toilet. So I told her to call me again in 30 minutes. And she didn't. But I wanted to make a stream about it and waste her time as much as possible, but apparently she didn't call me back, so but I am still installing this virtual machine so that in case she does call me later, much later, because I don't want to expose my IP address and things like that. Personal information. I should probably use a VPN of some sort. Notification for the stream in the Discord. Well, I didn't actually advertise this in Discord. I made this on the Moments notice. What was I saying? Yeah, in case she calls me later, much later, when I have a VPN installed, I want to have a virtual machine so I can have some fun. Usually they don't like Linux because they don't know anything about Linux, but some of them do. But I might have a fun with that. And because this is a completely sandbox system, so that's totally fine. Sudo. Netstat. Oh, I don't have even that. NetTools. Just tell her you are Linus Torvalds. She might believe it. Sure. There's a great YouTube channel where someone uses remote desktop on a scammer and calls them by their real name. Are you possibly referring to Pierogi? I think you are referring to Pierogi. Let's see what this actually says. This is much smaller the list than on the Windows side. Well, his YouTube channel is Scammer Revolts or something like that. So you have probably watched that channel. I also watch Kitboga and quite many other scammer streams, anti-scammer streams. Yeah, I know Jim Browning also. Jim Browning is great and he does great work in actually making them shut down their business and things like that, and monitoring what they do and warning the victims and things like that. He does great job. I really like it. Kitboga also, while he has fun with the scammers, he also does some great work. Some people don't like him because they think that he is just making money on the expense of the scamming business, but he actually tries to extract bank information and things like that from the scammers, so he can have them shut down. But yeah, he is also great. And then there are others. I also used to watch anti-scammer called Lewis, but I don't really like his streams so much because he goes into insulting them and things like that, and I think it's kind of childish. I don't like it that much. Then there is also a scammer related to Scammer Revolts, Kitboga, Jim Browning, Louis Tech. What was there also? Well, those are the main four, I think. Do you think an AI could be developed? Atomic Shrimp, yeah, he also. I watched him also. Atomic Shrimp deals with the email scams primarily. Do you think an AI could be developed to track and take action against scammers? Could it be implemented without violating people's privacy? Yeah, also, I know about Carl Rock, but I haven't watched his videos. He cooperated with Jim Browning. Good on AI. What would you propose the AI would do? Kitboga actually tried some AI things in some of his streams. It didn't work too well. It was too mechanical. But it was kind of fun. The AI couldn't recognize the speech very well because the calls are very noisy. They have all kinds of noise on the background, and it's trouble. They don't recognize the speech too well. I think Google's AI does pretty good job at recognizing the speech these days because they use a kind of neural network that has been trained on subtitled YouTube videos. Cinnamon, yes, I was planning to install Cinnamon, which is actually installed. How do I switch? Activities. Lookout. Yes. Black screen. Most unexpected. Combat monitor. F1. No. No. Most unexpected. OEM. Can I actually type here? Nothing is actually happening. Time to reboot, I guess. It could maybe log the phone numbers or IP addresses of the scammers whenever a user report being scammed, then train the AI to automatically block calls from those specific numbers or domain. Doing that manually could be tedious. That is an option, although blocking those phone numbers usually might not do good because they use VoIP. They use VoIP and faked phone numbers and a pool of different phone numbers. So you could also, if you did that, you could also block legitimate calls. Black screen again. And the IP addresses, that could also be an option. Blim 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 blim. I got the installation CD again. That's not what I wanted. Also, why do I not get the BIOS? Let me reboot and run. No, this. And no. Okay. BIOS, yes please. So boot from that. Well, how refreshing. It's broken again. This is not going too well. Oof. Let's do this instead. Here we go again. English. Finnish, yes. I didn't expect to do this. Their main targets are elderly people who aren't technologically literate. That's the saddest part. I totally agree with that. A media driver your computer needs is missing. This could be a DVD, USB or hard drive. Okay, time to try something different again. IDE CD. IDE or HD, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this is a big list here. I was trying different options. I was trying different options here because I wanted the system for my virtual machine in the dual booting video to look as realistic as possible, so I tried different things, but not everything worked. EXE is not supported by Windows setup, and UHC is not supported by Diana Core, the BIOS, and this is not supported by Windows setup, but it is actually supported by Windows and Linux. NVM used by, this is not supported by setup. CD drive, SS not supported, and this is okay with, yes, ASCII, yes, that is ASCII. ID, CD, yes. So instead of stick, let's use CD. Yes, that's okay. Hey Big B, how you doing? I'm doing fine. the stream is suspiciously lacking from Virtio SCSC drivers needed for Win. No, they are not, because I am not, as you can see on the screen, I am not using Virtio devices. So they are not actually needed. They would be more efficient than these, but Virtio devices are telltale sign that you are running a virtual machine, so I'm not using those. As I was also not using them in the dual booting Windows video. So these should be the settings that I used for the Windows installation then. So it should be working. Any key to boot from CD or DVD, yes. Nihongo blah 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 no. No, this is not a Japanese stream. I don't also recognize all those kanji. I recognize Nihongo and I recognize hiragana. Install now. I wonder if you had practiced your Japanese. No. Product key. I don't have a product key. Yeah, better stick to English. It is also polite to other viewers. Zuhongo. Let's choose Windows 10 Home. What is in? I don't know. Home. Home Edition. Accept. Legal mumbo jumbo. Custom install. Custom. Delete. Yes, new. Everything. Sure. There we go. Everything is okay. And installing Windows. And while I am working on that, I should probably, not that one, but power control, set it so that it uses some other audio device, which I can capture on the stream. I think at least audio output capture. Let me see about my stream settings. Audio output settings, properties, default. Let me make sure it is capturing the right device. Yep. How has the pandemic affected your life personally? Were you tested for COVID-19? I haven't been tested. And how has it affected? Well, I have been doing remote work since March. Since the beginning of March, actually. And it has been fantastic. I like it. So much more free time, because I don't need to commute to work and back like 40 minutes in one direction every day. So that's basically it. I have been staying mostly at home, but another thing how it has affected me is that our dance classes were cancelled, because the premises where we are doing the dance classes are in a church or in a chapel. The church mandates who can use those premises, so they were cancelled. It's getting better now. Since June we have been dancing outdoors on grasslands. That is one option. And then there was also going to be a dance workshop in June, a big dance workshop in June. It was cancelled, so that's also how it has affected me personally. Are you taking precautions when going out? Nowadays, not really. But in May and in April and in March, when I went out, I tried to avoid touching anything, and I washed my hands carefully and things like that. Once I also wore a mask, but I stopped wearing a mask because no one else was also wearing a mask. And in Finland, the health ministry or something like that, they actually say it's not a good idea to wear a mask because it's not very effective. That's their official statement. They say it might help you from infecting others. That's pretty much it. But as far as I know, I haven't been infected, and if I have, I don't know it. But I tried to avoid going outside, and that's actually within my nature. Right now I have a summer vacation. I have been on vacation for 1 week already, but I haven't really went anywhere. That's just laziness on my part. I should probably go swimming while the waters are still warm, but not done that. Finish. Yeah, you cannot avoid the topic anywhere. When you had cold a few months ago, it affected video production in a major way, according to what you said in the Discord. Did I have cold? I didn't have cold, but I have a stuffy nose at sometimes, quite frequently. Want to add a second keyboard layout? No. Nope. Drive a bus anymore? Does that mean that you don't drive a bus anymore? No, I haven't driven a bus for 4 years. That work lasted for like little over 1 year. But it was a long time ago. The permissions for it have already expired. Let me see if I have a card here somewhere. On my table. My table is pretty full, and some of the stuff falls on the floor. Nope, I don't have them here. But in any case, the permissions are already expired. My driver's license is fine, but my, what is this called? CPC, I think, it's expired. So even if I wanted to drive a bus, I couldn't, except maybe alone. I don't know. I don't remember the exact rules. But yes, I did drive a coach. How has your Threadripper PC been working? Saw the video. It's been working just fine. The both of them. One on which I am making this video right now, and the one that I installed in the latest dual booting video, which is my email server. Let's add your account. No. No, I don't want an account. Nope. 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 Nope.
Make your computer easier to use. Windows will read and scan this.
Nope. 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 So Windows Home Edition is out of the window. Let's try a new one. Different thing. Maybe create account has an offline account option. Maybe. Do you ever get negative feedback from your theological posts about the Bible and religion? Yes, I do. That kind of goes with the picture. Next, please. Install now. Yes. You have to disconnect your Ethernet when you go into setup. That could be faster than going through this process again, I agree. Yes, I will do that. Actually, I don't have a hotkey for that, so I will just net none like that. Let's do that. Do you have suggestions for projects to make to practice C or C++ skill during vacation? What? What? No, not really. I don't have ideas for example projects. Okay, so I guess I have to do the installation again. In any case. But I can do that offline, sure. Yeah, I disconnected the Ethernet, but the installation is already borked, so I have to do it again. My usual advice is do things that interest you. If you want something done, then do it. That's how I work. For every programming thing that I do it because I want to get it done. For example, what I have been doing lately, I might actually make a video about it, but I have been working on the Simon's Quest ROM hack, and I wrote an algorithm for word wrapping, which means when you have long lines of text and you want them to fit into a tiny window, narrow window, so you use an algorithm to wrap the lines, and I wrote an algorithm for that, which should be a little bit smarter than the greedy, stupid way. So I might make a video about that later. I wrote it in PHP. I can actually show you the preview of that, what it looks like. This is my code. Word wrapping. It might be a little bit difficult to see anything from the screen in that stream, but this is how it works. Dijkstra's algorithm. It uses Dijkstra's algorithm. I think that's how it's pronounced. Dijkstra. Dijkstra. Pretty simple actually to implement in PHP. It is much simpler than I thought it would be. And that's what it does. And if I use a little testing script to run it, then test splitting. That's what it outputs. This output is here telling what is the smallest possible, or what is the optimal possible dialog box size for it. Of course, this doesn't look too interesting on the command line, but that's how I tested it. But I might make a video about that. I have been planning on making a video about Dijkstra's algorithm for a long time, and I should just get it done someday. It's on my to-do list. Right now it has been like 24 days, I think, since my last video, so if I want to keep a video in a month schedule, I should probably make one in a week or so, unless I want to make this a video, but let's see. So, installing Windows. For now, enjoy vacation. Well, vacations are the time when I am supposed to have more time to make videos. It's vacation for my work. My work is not making videos. Making the videos doesn't really pay me much. So is embedded development fun? It seems frustrating to me. It's okay. It's okay. It's much more fun than web development, in my opinion, which is what I used to do before. That was dull. That was really dull. Region Finland. No, that's not right. Finnish, yes. Skip. I never thought I would see you install Windows again. I don't have internet. Yes. Leave this up. Yes. See you install Windows again, yeah. Neither did I think of that. Neither did I think I would do that, but it's a surprise to me also. But this is also just a virtual machine, so it doesn't really matter. You shouldn't feel pressured for... Why is it doing this again? I don't have internet. Limited setup. Me, I'm going to use it. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Security questions. No. Required. Okay. Sure, what was your first pet's name? Ah. Security question 2. What was your childhood nickname? Ah. Security question 3. What's the first name of your oldest cousin? Ah. Do more or crush devices with activity history? No. Don't use speech recognition. No. No. Send none is what I would wish, but don't use my data. Do you think ARM is the future or IoT? I think you meant future of IoT. Well, it's the present of IoT. We can't say what is going to happen in the future. In the short term, it's pretty dominant. It's going to be pretty dominant of IoT. But in the future, something else might come. I don't know. And IoT also uses Atmel, and it uses also other things like, what was that? ESP something. That's also pretty popular. Those are the main players, I think. There was also AVR, which is it Atmel? Is it the same as Atmel? I think it's the same as Atmel. Are there any useful IoT things yet even? Yes, there are. Yes, there are. Certainly there are. I can't tell you what they are, but... Okay. I have a Windows now. So if I wanted this to look like it is actually being used, I should probably connect it to the internet. Shut down. Right. Ethernet. Net. Picture of dog. Yeah, that would do. Also, background image of some sort. It's microchip. Oh, I see. Download some images from Google and put it on the desktop. Yeah, that would work. Also. Hello? Are we here again? Let's try something different. Let's not use a custom BIOS. That is just so... What? Let's try without the stick. Booting from hard disk, not a bootable disk. No bootable device. Why? I think I know. I think I know. So pretty much every time I restarted the virtual machine, I wiped out the disk clean. Thank you, Bisqwit. That's just so silly mistake. Should I try this again? Net. One more time. Ah, yeah, stick. Yeah, more Windows installing. Is this hell? When I made the video, I actually had to do this many times. So I do have some experience about this, but this is just so silly. Yes, I do watch Jim Browning, Almost Quiet. What architectures do you work with at your job? Did you have to learn any new frameworks when starting? Yes, I had to learn new things, quite many new things, because I didn't have any experience about the embedded things. Okay, sure. Sure. Embedded things at my work, so I had to learn about using STM32, which is the main thing that I work with. I also had to learn to work with what was it called? Nordic chips, NRF 52 and 51 things, and its SDK. I also had to work with other ARM things. U-boot, I had to learn to use that. And what was it called? A micro, what was it? Well, quite many things. Quite many things I had to learn there. But I also brought some of my own, so I still use a Linux desktop for my development. I also use GCC and GDB, and also on projects which are developed with other tools like Gale. I insist on developing with GCC and GDB and Joe and Cinnamon, with all my favorite tools. I have also used Yocto Linux a little bit, but not enough to have experience with that. Restart. Not really enough to have experience with that. Why does it restart right now? Starting service is getting ready. Sure. Why is it 4x3 in this window? I don't know. And I have also done some ARM cross compilation from Linux to from Linux PC to ARM machine. Is Yocto something relatively to build root? I think so, probably. I am really not an expert on that. What's the hardest thing about embedded development? Having to learn new things. I kinda hate it when tools change, when you have to learn new tools, new SDKs and things like that. Actually, the main contributor, well, one of the main contributors to my burnout in the web development job was because things change all the time. Every month, basically, there's a new framework and things. The thing of the month. Whether it's Drupal, whether it's Symfony, or whether it's Mango, or things like that. It's always a new thing. So in the embedded development, there are so many different kind of frameworks. We usually, in the company, we try to use one thing. It used to be embedded. It used to be embed, MBED, which I have much experience about, but it has changed. Then there are new versions. It doesn't work the same way as it did 3 years ago when I started. There's an embed OS now. Back then it was just an embed library. So it's kind of annoying. I don't have internet. Continue with limited setup, please. I'm going to use it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's your favorite book, movie, video game of all time? Nah. Hold on, let me think for a little while. Book, movie, video game of all time. That's really a difficult question. Yeah, you do know my passport. No. Because I don't really play many games, I don't really watch many movies, I don't really read many books. So pretty much everything I have played or watched or read is my favorite. Hi! We are getting everything ready for you. Oh yeah, that sound sample that I played in that video. Let me see if I can find it.
Hello?
No, not that one. Okay, I cannot find it, but in any case, I made it with a speech synthesizer, and then I edited it with Praat. What's your experience with machine learning, the glorified applied statistics? Not really much experience with the development side. I would like to learn using neural networks at some time, but it has been a long-term project for me for like last 15 years. Not making much progress with it. I should learn it sometime. I wish I can get out of web dev someday too. Just last week we had to deal with a library that had an LTS version that was only maintained for 1 year. That's a horrible definition one for long-term support. Display settings. Display resolution. Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy and use something like this. Yeah, sure. And hold on. Resize it. Where's my mouse cursor going? Over there. Make it like that so you can actually see it. Resize it a little bit more. Alright, there we go. No. There we go. Yeah. Is this actually the resolution that this is claiming to be? I don't know. What are some good movies? Well, almost quiet. That is a better question. I agree. I liked The Matrix, old movie, but I liked it. I can't remember any movies. Sorry, I'm blanking. I can't remember any movies. How long? Yeah, that was not for me. 1 year is a long time in web development. Yeah, it is, considering how much new things happen all the time. It is a long time. I don't have internet, do I? Yeah, I do not have an internet. So let's change that. And hopefully this time not wipe out the disk. Yeah, it's false. So it is not wiping it out. Change the net. And remove the CD drive. It's booting actually. Web dev does provide you with job security if you plan on being self-employed, though. I'm not totally sure I agree on that. It kind of looks like it didn't remember my screen resolution. Sure. Screen resolution. Display resolution. It was... what was it? It was like something like this, probably. No, it was actually bigger. It was maybe something like this. Keep changes. Move the window. No, it was not that. It was narrower. Maybe this after all. Sure. Yeah, that's okay. There was some other question. Maybe there was not. Okay. Now time to install some browsers. Sure. Download Chrome. Sure, yes. Okay, got it. Got it. Download Chrome. Accept install. Chrome for Windows. Yes. Run? No. What's going on? Why is it not doing anything? Oh, it's down here. You can see how much I have used Windows. BTC wallet restore. Yeah, that's a good idea. Kitboga that does that kind of things. Yeah, bank info, etc. Yeah, I agree. Instagram password and that sort of things. Amazon password. Skip. Next. Yeah, sure. Pick a background. Geometric shapes. Sure. Set as default. Sure. Yes. No, thank you. No sign in. And then instead of Google, folder title, do not open here. I don't know if I am ever going to get another scam call. I am not going to call them back, at least not with my phone, but if I do, then I kind of want to be ready. Settings. For the search engines. Let's use that for a... No. For the tech support scammers, you want to look as dumb as possible, so dumb people don't change these things. So I'm not going to change those. They are going to be at default. If you weren't in Finland, where would you want to live? Israel. Or failing that, maybe some relatively free country in Europe, like Hungary or Switzerland. No, yeah, maybe Switzerland. New folder, yeah, sure. Actually, I'm thinking if they are, the tech support scammers are calling Finland, is it realistic that my desktop is in English? Should it be in Finnish? I was actually thinking for a while that if they connect to my virtual machine and they saw the Windows, what would they do if the Windows installation is in Arabic or Hebrew or in some other language that they totally cannot understand, that the layout is right to left and everything is reversed and they can't understand a single word on the screen? What would they do? Finnish is still relatively easy because it's still left to right, even though the words are different. And they can't understand a single word from. But yeah, I think Finnish would be more realistic, especially if I want to appear dumb. It should be Finnish. But of course, because I would be communicating with them in English, because most likely they cannot speak Finnish. At least this girl that called me didn't. Well, I didn't try if she understood Finnish, but she spoke English right away. So I think they can only understand English and Hindi and things like that. I don't speak Hindi, so that's out of the question. So they know how good or bad English I speak. I speak probably about as well English as they do. So with my English skills, it is kind of realistic that I also have English Windows installation, I think. Does it make sense? How do you think they got your number? Randomly, probably randomly. But my number is actually listed on some web pages. You can find it if you really want to spend effort to that. But so it's not really secret. I have to keep it online because I have to be reached in some contexts. So they just search it, but most likely they just randomly dialed. I don't think they will be surprised that people on Nordic countries have English Windows installed. Johnny, I agree. But if I want to appear dumb, then I don't know. They will only try to convince you your computer is infected by visiting the webs. That's possible. That is possible. But more likely they will do the classic things like netstat and show you that these are hackers connecting your computer, and they will show things like a tree and show where it was found, and wait for that, tell that is a scanning going on, and it is scanning your computer for viruses, and when it completes it tells you that viruses were found. They will do that kind of thing, and they will run event viewer and show that Windows logs application. Where is it actually? I haven't used it, so I have to kind of look for setup system, so that there are all kind of warnings here and errors here, so that is a sign that your system is broken, and that's the sort of things they do usually. High contrast mode, narration, etc. That's a great idea, but also yeah, that could work. That could really work. That could work. Display settings. Display. Where do I actually find them? They are probably in the usability thing. I don't actually know how to set up those. But they would probably also revert to those because they kind of expect. They probably have some kind of experience on that part. Yes, I did call a scammer call while I was on the toilet. So I told her to call me again in 30 minutes, and she promised to, but she never did. Ease access, ease access. Yes, there. This is so gaudy. Sure. Yeah, absolute beauty. How about my desktop background? Personalize. Background. Picture. Set as my... Oh my goodness, this is so horrible. Horrible to read. Download. Yeah. Set as desktop background. There we go. If I want to appear dumb, I should probably have a relatively normal desktop background image. Although, judging from Kitboga's streams, they don't really care. If you have an atrocious background picture, they don't really care. Oh. But I already have it. Do I? Yes, I do. Yes. This is Chrome. Yes. Yes, yes it is. close. Sure. That's okay. Background as low resolution as possible. That would be a great idea too. Yeah, I will actually do that. My nose is working like a faucet. Let's download a dog picture. Hold on, I'm using my host computer this time. So let's do that. Let's make it a little bit smaller, like and then resize it. Dog 2. Let's try that. Not pixelated enough. It needs to be more pixelated. There we go. That's better. Doc2 downloads here. Set as desktop background. There we go. It's better. And it's a nicer looking picture too. Try to find Netscape Navigator. Probably not. If you want to appear dumb, you should probably not have that kind of stuff there. Because if you have a computer that has telltale signs that it was installed in 90s and upgraded many times, then it's probably not a good sign that you are a beginner and dumb. It's not harmonious with that idea. How do you expect game engines to change as graphics cards become more and more capable throughout the years? They will use more beautiful graphic settings. All kind of candies, eye candies will be more common, I think. Bisqwit Twitch stream. It should be a picture, always be a picture of your car. No, I don't agree. Dog is good. It could be. Sure, let's let it do its thing. Should I have also that narrator thing? Yes, I should probably have it on. So where do I find it? Ease of access. Let's put it here. Yeah. Audio settings. Device volume, no visual alert. Change the magnifier narrator here. Yes.
Narrator dialog. Okay, setting narrator heading level 1. Welcome to narrator. This is narrator home,
Okay,
where you can get.
That works, but I don't want it to speak that loudly, so I will change this. Sure, minimize. It's on. You cannot hear anything from it now. Yeah, sure. It's still doing its thing, I think. I will make it a little bit louder, just to make sure that it is actually running. So, playback. Like this. But I am not actually hearing anything. Well, if they don't call, then that doesn't really matter. I'm just having fun. It has been 3 hours since they called, so she will probably not call again, but I don't know, they might. That is so distracting. I cannot concentrate on my own speech when that is going on in the background. I will probably not want to have that. That is so horrible. I think they pretty much call all the time. But yes, it is late in India. Probably she will not call me again. At least today. Would audio even work through the remote network, remote software? It would not. It would not work, but it would come through my phone. Because I was planning on having this on speaker. That was my plan. Yeah, they can mute it. That's true. That's absolutely true. New folder. I should probably move these to that folder. Yeah, that's better. Dog. Actually, I should probably give the dog a name. She will be Oscar. Yeah, that's Oscar. Okay, but I will turn that off. That's so obnoxious. Well, at least I will mute my in the volume settings, which are nowhere. Two clearly different dogs. Oscar. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. They wouldn't notice. They wouldn't pay any attention. Scammers have a tunnel vision. They don't see that kind of things. As long as they are totally focused on their mission of getting you pay them, so they will not notice that kind of things. That's what I have learned from Kitboga's videos. He gets away with everything. Recycle bin. That should probably have also stuff in it. If someone asks you to recommend your favorite books, what 3 books would come to mind first? I don't know. I don't have favorite books. I don't have favorite books. Almost quiet. I'm not going to call them because this is my actual personal phone. I don't want to call them with that. If I called, I would have to use some kind of VoIP software. No problem. No problem at all, that link. But I would have to use some kind of VoIP software. And also VPN and stuff like that. For just this call, if they called me back, I would probably use this virtual machine and see how they react, but I should probably use a VPN for that. That's a bad idea on stream. What is bad idea on stream? Calling the free, yeah, using Skype. Yeah, that would work. And I think I don't know what system Kitboga uses for calling and what other anti-scammers use for calling. I don't know what they use. Most definitely not actual phone. They use a free system. I also have free phone calls from this, but yeah, that's true. But I wouldn't risk it, and that's why I am not calling her back. Especially because I got calls from 3 different numbers today, so nope. What's the medieval equivalent of modern day scammers? Well, there were all kind of scrupulous, unscrupulous peddlers and things like that. Yeah. Well, at least I have now have a Windows system. I should probably spend some work in customizing this and detect my location. Where was I supposed to be? Well, I actually live in Kerava, but I should probably choose something else that I like. Right now my IP address is probably saying something like Helsinki or Tampere. But I should probably say something like Porvoo, maybe. Porvoo is good. Can I pin this on the desktop? Start. Yes, that's good. I guess you could block it. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Not use personal phone. It's a great idea. When doing that sort of stuff, you really don't want to use anything personal. Not per personal phone, not personal name, not personal face, not personal IP address, not personal computer, not anything. Everything should be fake. But it kind of looks she's not going to call me today, so I think I should probably also wrap this stream up, because dealing with a tech support scammer is not happening, not today. Sorry. Stopping recording. Yeah, I think I'm probably recording in HD or in 1600p or something. I'm recording at the same quality I'm streaming, probably. Yeah, I suppose. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. This was a chill stream. Bye.